Hey, family, oneness, wholeness, and balance. Blessings to you today. Hope you are having a beautiful day. You are all divine Buddhas, awakened souls. You are divine. You are perfect. We all are. We are mortals. We are designed to live that perfection. And just want to let you know. Anyway, welcome, one and all. Wait for people to jump on here. Welcome, Flip 3 Silva. Greetings. Welcome to Juicing with Jesse. I'm not going to make a juice recipe today because I actually did it already. I was batch juicing earlier this week, but I'll share what I got for tomorrow real quick. You can see my shelf here. I got orange, carrot, apple, beet juice with a little lemon. I got this is pumpkin seed milk with a little apricot and lion's mane and cordyceps mushrooms. And this is a nourishing tea blend with nettles, comfrey, alfalfa, tulsi, and lemon balm and molasses. So that's going to be my breakfast tomorrow. I'll have a couple tablespoons of sea moss. So just to share what I'm doing on my liquidarian journey, still doing 23 hours dry fasting every day and juicing for an hour. I've been doing that now for almost 3 years. Almost 3 or 4. I don't even know anymore. So it's I feel good this way. I've been, of course, desiring to go further, but situations and energies in my life, I haven't really been allowing for that. I'm building out this Airbnb so I can get out of doing physical manual labor in gardens and developing my health coaching and herbalism business more and more because I want to lean on those full time because that's my passion. I want to just help people cleanse, detoxify, nourish, become more vital, become the light that you are in a greater way, because I think this is how we're going to make the transformations in the world that we'd like to see. We are the ones. All of that is a daily commitment. It's a daily discipline of, heart connecting with the motivation to benefit sentient beings and doing the practices. Been listening a lot lately to this lady Adama Speaks. Holy moly, check her out, family. She's a firebrand. I love it because she resonates my own soul's confidence and trust in the path of taking on the initiative to detoxify and nourish and become, this is the vessel for consciousness, and it's sacred, blessed, and the more consciousness we can embody, the greater intelligence we can embody. And this is how we're gonna do the problem solving, coming from a heart-centered place to create the changes we want to see in the world. And I want to encourage everyone to grow food too. Breatharian, whatever. Grow it for the animals. Grow it for the pollinators. Grow it for your neighbors. The food situation is getting really sketchy out there. Even the organics, they keep having all these recalls because of the industrialized system, and we need to get more rooted in earth. And after World War II, 60% of the food was grown by just people, not farmers. And now less than 1% of the population grows the food. Here comes Nabiha. Will be here in about 10 minutes. Blessings, Nabiha. She's my good sister. Y'all probably know her. She's going to be joining me. She often joins me for these lives. But that gives me a little bit of time to share some of the stuff I've been, thinking about. Been reading this book. It's the Physiomedicalists. It's sort of a branch of herbal thought, and they're talking about the innervation, the nerves that thread into all of your vital organs and all the organs of your body, and all these nexus and ganglion and nerve structure that goes all the way out to your fingertips is your subconscious mind. And they're talking about the whole thing of the mind-body connection, and your digestion, for instance, will not be the best if you're anxious, and that's because of those nerves that are threaded into your digestive system. And I was just thinking about this because with respect to the breatharian path, with respect to becoming our greatest selves, my quest for enlightenment, and that we all, I think, are questing for our own enlightenment, it is this whole thing of the body connects to the mind and the mind connects to the body, and one affects the other. And something that Dhamma has been talking about that I love is the subtle form of war that's been going on, the depopulation agenda that's been going on for ever since the Rockefellers injected their selves in as the petrochemical version of health. Before that, it was all herbalism and nutrition and various holistic modalities, chiropractics, all those kinds of things, homeopathy. So that made it so he could have his hands in all the different cookie jars, but it also made it all patentable, brandable, and the things feed up back on each other. So we eat all this cruddy food, dead animals, processed stuff and everything, and it chunks up our system, and it affects our behavior. And so this is the responsibility that comes with cleansing and taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself and practicing self-care practices to ennoble all that you can be, because that is your divine right, and it's also essentially the gold. The real gold is our golden energy, and the way we use it. If we use it, if we just are completely inattentive and just blow it out, and then we won't have that energy. And we have to remember that money, everybody's talking about abundance. The abundance truly is prana, the golden energy within. That is, your life force is the most precious thing you have. Your life is the most precious thing you've got. So why not invest in yourself every day, in that commitment to grow and become your greatest version? And I think we're all just called to this. I'm definitely called. I know. I think this is the antithesis to the death culture. Is that we invest in life, in our own life, in plants, in land, in life itself, crystals, all that kind of thing. Because and invest in the practices of acquainting ourselves with our inner world and becoming more adept and more skilled at knowledge of self. Because we are the infinite blessed ones. We are love, light, purity, power, prosperity. It's only obfuscated from us because we buy into a system that doesn't ennoble life. It ennobles the death and the vampirical consumption of your energy for, to buy food, to feed the medical system, to, buy petroleum, to buy products, to poison the world for our future generations. And we got to come clear and come correct and stand up, and that's something that happens inside and through practice more than anywhere else. That's how we're going to win the war and fight this battle. Hey, there's Michael. One love, Michael. You're welcome to join if you're feeling it, brother. Nabiha is going to be here in just a sec. But so I just wanted to talk to that, point, and also give you some tools, So obviously, juicing, fasting, meditation, sun gazing, grounding, bentonite clay. All these things are available to us for free. Like bentonite is like a product but you can actually just go eat clay if you're in a place that the clay is clean. So that becomes a whole thing of learning to discern. But that's something my family and I have done for years, is taste the earth. Farmers often taste the earth, and that's probiotic. That's the other thing of like developing this microbiome, through connection with the earth, how it can seep through your skin just by touching and working with the earth. Michael says, can't join tonight. Oh, that's okay, brother. I saw you finished your fast, your 40-day juice fast. Congratulations. Good work, brother. Brother Michael, as well as a whole group of our friends, just finished a 40-day juice fast, and that's precisely the thing I like to see in my community, taking care of themselves so that we can take care of the world in a proper way in the future generations. Because, they say, you love others as you do yourself, but are you truly adept at loving yourself? That's like, I feel like that is the transmutative journey, the transformational journey of alchemy, of changing lead into gold. That weighs you down into that which sort of lifts you up. So on that note too, I wanted to share about some teas and stuff that you can use to purify and cleanse your blood. One is red clover tops. That is really amazing for cleansing the blood. I don't have any of that right now, and I'm working with some teas. I just did a post about the path of tea, because that is a way towards breatharianism, because you can get this amazing phytochemistry. Oh, Michael says he can join. Here, it hydrates the cells, cleanses, and nourishes. I'm trying to bring you on here, Michael, but it's not letting me. Let me see, because you requested to join. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to invite you if you still want to come. I don't know if that was accidental, but so cleansing the blood also with respect to the chronic lifestyle.
Hey, brother, how are you? I can join just for a couple of minutes, but yeah.
Awesome. Great to see you, brother.
Yeah.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Pardon me?
How you feeling?
Good. Finished the 40-day. Still doing I'm still probably for the next month doing herbs and parasite stuff anyway. Mm-hmm. And now just refeeding, with eating fruit for the next couple of days, and then incorporating some other stuff as I go along this week, staying away from fats and that kind of stuff until probably the end of the week. But feeling good.
Beautiful. Yeah. Great point there about transitioning too.
Yeah.
Skillfully.
Important to do. Like I'll probably, I've just done all fruit today. Like today I incorporated things like berries, grapes, where you're eating them, not juicing, and all that kind of stuff. Some papaya. Tomorrow will be more of that. I may make a smoothie bowl tomorrow night with fruit, and I may incorporate epigenous. I haven't decided yet. Mm-hmm. And Wednesday kind of be more the same. Thursday I'll add a salad in the evening. So yeah.
That sounds brilliant, brother. Yeah. Brilliant. Love it.
It was a good experience. It was great. Well, I did a live today with two of the other guys who joined us, Marcus and Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to catch it, and I didn't have good signal. I saw you were on.
The replay's out there on all our feeds, so
I'll have to check it.
Yeah. You'll have to join us next time.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to connect with Marcus for a while. We've been talking about it, but
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah,
I like him.
So it all went well, and we talked about the journey, and how you start and you kind of go, oh geez, 39 days more left. But, it all worked out. It all worked out really well, and it was a great thing that we incorporated the plank challenge, not on purpose, but that happened at the same time. So it was an interesting month, and the interesting thing about that plank challenge was you kind of had two things going on simultaneously, and the plank challenge ended before the 40-day, right? So when the plank challenge ended, it was like, yes, only 9 more days till 40.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it kind of like gave you an easy finish almost.
yeah, yeah. So it was kind of good.
That's
But yeah, all was great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing excellently. I just, just working, trying to get this Airbnb thing off the ground and working with my herbs and, taking some time to rest in the last few weeks, which is rare for me. So I've been really enjoying that. It's precious,
Yeah, it's
you
that
know.
kind of. It's also that time of year. It's good. Hibernate a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I would do it. I would just be a hermit and just, juice and drink fruits from the nature and and meditate all day. But
Oh,
I feel called to
yeah. No,
serve
you got to get there and do some stuff occasionally. Yeah,
and to be with people. It's like I have a North Node in Libra, so it's my evolution
yeah.
to
That was
connect with
yeah,
people.
that was the other thing that came up about this the 40 day was that there was a little community created around it and how having that support was was really cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
so vital.
which is what I know, which is what you've been out creating as well, community, right? Like-minded people and all the rest. So it's actually an integral part to all of this.
I think I think we are actually witnessing slow and piecemeal transmutation of our society.
Yeah,
You know, as
100%.
people, take this to heart more and more, and really are craving. I think we're all just craving, you know, feeling how devoid of true fulfillment, true health, true, nourishment and well-being is present in the system,
Right,
you know,
right.
Babylon system, for lack of a better word,
Yeah,
and just that there is the natural system and natural human psychology and familial relationships, and I think tribal sort of psychology, and I think we're working our way back to that,
yeah. No,
or
I agree.
forward to that.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Listen, I can't stay, unfortunately, but as always, I want to pop in, say hello, lots of love, and we'll connect again soon.
Thank you for showing up,
All right,
Michael. Love you, brother.
brother. Be
Have a
good.
great day.
You too.
Michael's a G. Michael's a total G. Love that guy. So, anyway, to carry on with my point about nourishing the blood, and nourishing herbal tea blends. So, what you want to do if you want to have a nourishing tea blend, shoot, I should have had props ready. You get a quart jar and you want to put an ounce of herb in that. So, that's going to more or less fill up the jar about 2/3 or of the way, of these really mineral dense herbs, because that's also why I like to share Purium, and also to encourage the use of seaweeds and stuff. Is the mineral density of foods is really low because of the degradation of soil. So it takes 5 oranges now to get the nutritional density of 1 orange from the 50s. So these nourishing herbal tea blends, or things like our superfoods with Purium, grass juice, seaweeds, sea moss, those are going to be the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. Sprouts, also very nutrient dense. So we want to get that mineralization, but there's also the purification of the blood. Clover has like this affinity for cleansing and purifying the blood, which is like, your lymph is like the septic system of your body. Everything you put in here has to be processed by the lymph, and everything then is dumped that the lymph can extract and use is dumped into the blood. The blood, if the lymph is too, topped up with all this gunk and putrefaction and waste and toxic chemicals and stuff, then that leaks into the blood, and the blood gets all full of yeasts and molds and toxins. So you want to cleanse your blood, especially on the breatharian path, because according to the Taoist masters, the blood is the carrier of qi. So this is also kind of something Adama talks about, is like our actions are essentially imprinted onto our blood, you know. So you're sending out bad energy, and you know, eating dead animals and drinking alcohol and, you know, watching porn, you know, you're dumping a bunch of toxicity into your blood, and it's changing you physiologically. To be more sick, there's more inflammation. Inflammation is the root of disease. So you want to cleanse your blood. The herb I'm working with today is called kota, or what is it? It's also known as green thread, or I'm trying to think of the Latin. Something came recently, I forget. But it's this wonderful herb. Show it to you here. It's in the sunflower family, or the aster family. That's the largest family, and it smells. Oh, it smells so heavenly. It smells like when you walk into a greenhouse and you get hit with all those flowers and that smell of earth and stuff. That's what this smells like. And this is an excellent blood cleanser used by Native people here. So I'm, you know, in the process of bagging it up right now. I'm going to share my wares here. If you want some, it's available in my Etsy shop. If you want to go to my link tree, you can get some of this. But it's a really nice tea just by itself, or with a little bit of sweetener, you know, monk fruit or maple syrup. And that maple syrup, molasses, and monk fruit are the only sweeteners I'll use. Molasses and maple syrup both have the mineral density, once again, and then monk fruit has no glycemic index. It has no calories, and it's like good for like the bacteria in your mouth and all manner of stuff. So that's what I suggest using. And you could, in this, actually, you have to decoct a little. You have to simmer. You wouldn't really do a full decoction, but not just an infusion, not just pouring hot water over. But great herb, very, very tasty. And what I'll do is I'll use, like today, I made a nourishing tea blend with oat straw and horsetail, and nettle, comfrey, lemon balm, and self-heal and molasses, and poured that into my power shake that I added also spirulina to. So it, you know, the power shake has like all manner of grass juices, oat grass juice and barley grass juice, and it's got alfalfa grass juice. And so this is my strategy. I'm just sharing with you in case, you know, you would like to work with any of these. The remineralization of your body, for instance, if you are tapped up enough on natural iodine, which is present in seaweeds, then it will push out and protect you against radioactive iodine. And the whole process of detoxification, you know, we're starting to get more refined in our understanding about how to do it. Because if you go too fast, what happens when people have problems, you know, they get ill or even die from fasting or cleanses, is because of autotoxicity. There's this accumulation of all this toxicity that happens over, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And then you start to liberate it and in the cleansing process, and then it recirculates and it toxifies you. So, you know, key to also include clays, bentonite or zeolite clay. You have to be careful, you know, fulvic minerals also, and shilajit, all these things, the minerals, like I'm saying, they'll push out the bad stuff. And if you're hydrating, you know, that's part of why I feel like liquiditarianism is like a vital part of moving to the breatharian path, is because you have to wash out all this stuff that's been in you for years and years, and using the plants to help astringe and you know, detox and to, you know, support. And so you cleanse the cells and you cleanse your eliminatory tract and all those things. You start to get better absorption, better elimination, and your cells are getting more electric. So this is how it's worked for me to build into the breatharian state, is using food as a form of prana to become breatharian. And so, over time, it just naturally happened, by doing all the practices, sun gazing, meditation, qigong, fasting, raw foods, eventually I just wanted less and less. It was a natural process, and then as it started to become more clear that this is where I was heading, I got really excited, and I, did some long drive fasts, and I took, workshops, and then I did initiation, self-initiated. I don't suggest it. It's very, very hard. It's better to do it in group, in community. And then committed to 30 days liquidarian after that. And anything you can do 30 to 90 days, you can entrain as a new lifestyle. And this is what I coach people in, is how to not just have like a momentary like cleanse and then back to normal, but to make lifestyle transformation, this daily commitment, to cleansing and nourishing and caring for yourself so you can be ennobled to your highest divinity. So I did this, I did actually 90 days of liquid after doing 4 days of dry fasting. And it was just, easy because I had built it over like 10 years. And so people who are interested in this path, take your time, go slowly. We so in this culture value the product and not the process. And to slow down and enjoy the process, I almost moved a little too fast. There's things from my raw food days that I still miss, I'm still clinging to, but now I've moved beyond, and I just have to let it go, but what I do for that is like, I'm like 95% liquidarian, or maybe 92 some days, is I'll let myself have a little bit of salad with dressing, little, like if there's like persimmons in season or something, I might have a persimmon or half a persimmon. That way I get to have that experience, because that's going to be a key thing. Those of you who are interested in moving towards breatharianism, is you have to treat all of your, and even if you're just trying to, cleanse and change, make some lifestyle changes and improve your health, you have to wrap up your relationship with these foods and things that were like, comforting, things that mom made and grandma, and, whatever that really, when you're, feeling awful, sort of spiritually or psychically, these things can really come in and feel supportive, and yet they're often keep us stuck in that place and keep us unwell and keep us cycling. So to, know when, just like in a relationship, when things start to, I've had it happen many times in my life. Some of my best friends for years, and then just something fades, and you just have to honor it. It's like, it's time, and if the relationship is good, it's that parting is done lovingly and with integrity and respect, and no bad vibes, and so that's what you want with the foods, because otherwise they're going to linger on you and cling on you, and you're going to cling on them. So that's just been helpful for me to, it was some helpful guidance from my teacher, Eli Tom, when I was, I'd already moved to liquidarianism. I was feeling, because you may have felt this too in your personal transformations in your life, you start making changes, and it really disrupts things in the family, and in your social. I had basically cut off from most of my social connections, because all of those people did things I used to do, like drink beer and eat meat and, smoke tons of weed and a bunch of, stuff that wasn't really serving me. And I had to move beyond. And it was, disruptive also in my family, because I was the only one who went raw and had been moving towards breatharianism. So, it can feel lonely, and you need to honor the relationship aspect of these transformations. And take your time, don't force. So anyway, let's see, what time is it here? I'm waiting for Nabiha, and she might have gotten hung up. I want to honor everybody's time. Those are the main things I jumped on here for, was to share about that. I've been really, all these things with respect to empowerment, to yourselves, to myself, to the all, to invest in life and take life to be our foremost imperative. That's the assault. That's where it's happening. There's an assault on life that's been going on, a war on life. Even if you look at the word antibiotics are anti-life. So that's pretty much what doctors use when they don't know what's wrong with you. They just throw probiotics at it. So, Nabiha says 1 minute. Okay. We might have a short visit though, Nabiha, because I already have to use the bathroom. That's the other thing. Liquiditarian life. I had breakfast at 1:30. So, just to share more of, my practice, I am doing early time restricted feeding is what they call it now. That's the scientific word, but that's what the ancients talked about in Ayurveda and Chinese traditional medicine and other, it just makes sense. You have your breakfast or your biggest meal in the middle of the day. Some people say like eat breakfast like a queen, eat dinner like a king, and then fast, and to do that earlier in the day leads for greater digestion and assimilation before you get to sleep. You rest better, and you also get microbiome benefits and all these things. So I'm having my window between 1:30 and 2:30. I would do it sooner, but it's just that thing of like, even 1:30 is a little hard because I have to try to get all of my physical work on the farm or in gardens and stuff done before then, which only gives me about 4 hours or so with my morning practices and such. So, and then I can move into other, work on consultation calls and the internet and stuff. But I'd also like, it's another one of my wishes is to move away from technology to the greatest degree possible. I feel the need to stay connected with my community and to serve. But I see this, I recognize these technologies as actually another aspect of this death culture that's preying upon, the, population. It doesn't matter what hue of human you are, they're after you. I hate to sound that way, it's the conspiracy theorist in me, but it's not a conspiracy if you can prove it, and it's all very much there. So anyways, let's go on to a lighter note now and bring in my good friend Nabiha. So glad to have her. Let's see. Trying to accept here Nabiha, but I think I have to do. Oh yeah.
All right, bye-bye. Hey!
Hey Nabiha, greetings.
Hey, brother. Sorry, I was driving. And then,
Nobody,
yeah. All right, bye.
nobody's now.
Yeah, my nieces, so they took me to, what is this place called? Let me see the bag they're carrying. Subway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Subway. And then, yeah, it took them forever. When I said 5, 10 minutes, I was sitting outside, but it took 30 minutes. So I had to go in there. I'm like, no, I don't have that time. So how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Just just riffing here and having a nice day. Got a lot of work done this morning and on my Airbnb thing, and just been really that lady Adama that I sent you. I've been just absorbing a lot of her material because she just speaks with the confidence and stuff that really like is my original heart and mission that I kind of like. As you do, I live with a bunch of meat eaters and omnivores. Like there's a pile of donuts right over there on my table,
Yeah.
and I just, it's,
I've got
I
some
don't
stuff
want
here
to,
too, you know, in my car.
I
I've got some
don't
stuff.
want to, I don't want to hurt their feelings, you know,
Yeah.
but I also want to be in my fullness, you know, I don't want to, you know, it's, my truth is my truth, you know, and I have to like honor that. And, you know, I really resonate with the message of like, ennoble yourself by taking care of your body every day and grow into what you can become like through that integrity of that true form of self-love,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
That's what we're doing, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
you and I every day, you and
Yeah.
I and Jerome, lots of
Yeah.
others, many others, we're waking up.
Yeah, every day. Every day we do. I mean, you know, to me, um, my sister, her family, you know, my nieces and nephews, and even my own children, everything everybody is eating is invisible to me. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm just in there. You know, you can
Yeah.
be eating me, you can be drinking these little, you know, dirty waters. Like you can do all of that in front of me. I just don't see it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
um, it's more like they see it rather than me seeing it. You know, I don't have any reactions, or I won't say like, "Oh, you shouldn't eat donuts," or "You shouldn't eat this," or "You shouldn't eat that." I would never say that, you know.
Hmm.
But for some reason, they know that, you know. I know, like I'm telling them this is not good without saying any words. Does that make sense? Like
Hmm.
the other
Hmm.
day, my niece, she woke up in the middle of the night, right, like 4 a.m. or something like that, and then she went into the kitchen and got some food. But she was in the same room as me, and when I woke up, I just woke up to the sounds of someone, you know, fork and knife and whatever she was doing. And when I woke up, I didn't even think, oh, she's eating or she's not eating and why is she eating and what time it is. But her thought was like, oh my God, what is my aunt going to think?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here
I.
in her room in the middle of the night and I'm eating. What is my aunt going to think? But I've never said anything to her.
Mhm.
It's just that she knows that this is not my vibration and she knows that I know a different truth.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, they just know. But
Yeah. Yeah, I got a
yeah.
similar thing with my family where I just don't really pay attention anymore, you know. I'll even, you know, I don't like to help them cook the meat, but I'll cook whatever for them. Otherwise, they can cook the meat, you
Mhm.
know. And you know, that's less of a problem for me. It was more of a problem at the beginning because, you know, naturally you want to, I think everybody goes through this to some degree or another of like, I don't know if you did, but for me, it was a pretty hard thing to overcome. Like, I just wanted, like, I love these people. I want them to be healthy and happy and enjoy what I'm enjoying. I
Uh-huh.
feel amazing. I've never felt this good in my life, you know?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so you want to share that naturally with the people you love the most, you know? And actually, my wife was the one who got me started on raw foods, you know?
Mm.
And about a month in, uh, she couldn't hang anymore, you know? But that was helpful to have the accountability partnership of one another, you know, in that journey. And she essentially had a raw food cleanse, you know,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
ever since then, you know, she has a more Vata constitution. There's things that, you know, we could have now, with our knowledge, been more gentle in transitioning and taking the care and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
But whatever the case, it was kind of traumatic for her, you know. Um, and my obvious zeal in the same way, you know, we were consuming content, you know, about raw food and the amazing benefits and all this stuff and how, you know, and it was very much my heart as a Buddhist, you know, this uh, non-violent way of living, you know, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't the same resonance, you know, and
Yeah.
so, you know, it's a thing that we all have to navigate, but then we also need our support networks, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm
I think Ali
grateful
Tom said.
for you that way very much. I want to say just real quick, you
Mm.
know, I'm just
Yeah.
super grateful for you being my sister.
Oh, I'm grateful for you. for being my brother, so Jesse. So my niece actually asked me. She said, is that Jerome's brother?" You know, when she was looking at you, and I said, "Yeah, it is."
We're hard brothers.
Yeah, she seen me talking to you, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Eliton mentioned once that whoever that introduced him to the path uh, was never on the path. It was just a curious person that, heard about this path and then they talked about it. Then he's on the path. Same thing with me too. It was a partner who introduced me to this path, but at the same time, I was on the path. But this person have never fasted in his entire life. It's
Mm-hmm.
still till today, he never fasted. But
Wow.
he was the one that you always used to talk about, like people not eating and what eating is and this, and that. And it was more of because of he was observing me. And he never seen someone that just walking around sipping on water and don't care about no meals and this and that. And we lived under the same roof for like 8 years. He'd never seen me to go to a doctor. He'd never seen me go and visit any, medical facilities or anything like that. Never seen. He have seen me, catch the COVID before anybody else catch the
Yeah.
COVID. So two,
I'm
three times
expecting.
within those 8 years. So and then he will bring some stuff. He will have some, cough and whatever he comes home with. But
Mhm.
I will be helping him, and taking care of him, and
That's
I'll
so
be so
right.
close, and he would look at me and think like, "You're not scared of like getting this from me," and I'm protected.
That,
So I never
that's
felt like okay, anything can touch me, right? But I knew some deep down, I knew it was like, whatever I eat is what turns into a disease, right? So
yeah.
if my system is always clean and clear, I don't have any diseases. I'm not accumulating diseases. So
Hmm.
it makes sense. Yeah.
Oh man, that's that's so uncannily like my same story. I've since I made my raw food transformation in 2010. I went sick one time, and that was with COVID. And the
Mm.
rest of the family had it, and I had one day of just feeling low energy. I didn't have,
Yeah.
and I took care of them the whole time. And every time that they're sick, I'm running around taking care of the whole house. You know,
Same.
I'm like,
Same.
guys,
Yeah.
if you would just like get hip to what you're eating,
Mhm.
like I'm all mucusy. I don't know why. And like last night they had
Yeah.
enchiladas, with cheese and meat and chili and
Yeah.
and ice cream, or it's like, well, no wonder, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I like you said, we always want to help our families and we want to get them on that track because the way we are feeling is like, okay, I want you to feel this way,
Mhm.
right? I
Mhm.
didn't
It
grow up
comes from a
with a
loving place.
family. Yeah. So I couldn't resonate with it before, Jesse. But I can say that I do resonate with it now, today, because I
Mhm.
live with my sister, and I've never lived with any sister or brother or anything like that. So now living with her and just listening to her, and I know her body more than she knows. Like I know, like she's full of mucus,
Mhm.
right? And then she would
Mhm.
say like, "Oh, I think I have asthma. I think I have this." No, no, you just clogged up, full of mucus, right?
Mhm.
Because whatever
Mhm.
that she puts in her body, it's not good for her, right? And every day I think to myself like, oh, I wish I could help her just eliminate all of that mucus by just like putting her on a fast.
Mhm.
Like if I tell her like, hey, go on this fast, she's listening to me, you know. But you need to go to the bathroom.
No, no,
Oh, no.
no,
Okay.
no, no. I do,
Yeah.
but I'm good for a while.
Okay. Okay. But every day, subconsciously, there's something within me that always want to help her, like, oh my God, like I know all of this knowledge. I know all of this. I talk to people, but I can't help my own family that's like right next to me. I can't change their habits, right? So then I realized, you know what? I can only change me. I can't
Yeah.
change anybody else, right? So I live with them as a person who I am. I'm not scared of who I am. They see me. My sister in the beginning, she used to have comments about, oh, you don't eat or you don't do this or you don't do that. Now they understand. They're like, okay, she's standing. She's the most active. I work like a normal person. It's not like I'm just laying around and fasting and doing nothing.
Mhm.
Like they see me walk around with my jug of water, and she have seen it. So slowly I can see her like, buying in some juices. I see her buy like a juicer, and I see her buy like different things. So I don't want to immediately go on like, oh, hey, that's genetically modified. You can't juice that. Or this watermelon has no
All
seed.
right.
You can't do that. I don't want to
You're
get
doing
into
just
that. I was
right.
like, okay,
That's
you do
that's
your
right.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You're doing your thing. So when I see her, bottle some kind of juices, and I see her, doing something, whether she drinks it or not, at least she made a step. And I didn't say anything, right?
Yeah.
She did it by
It-
just being me and me. Yeah. So
It's
that's
more.
how I feel like.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's the love, truly the loving way, is to
Mm,
model it and let people give people the dignity of their choice. You know,
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
because if they don't choose it, it's not gonna stick anyway.
It's not.
You know.
It's not. And
And
they're not doing anything wrong, to be honest. Nobody is doing anything wrong on purpose. Nobody's saying like, okay, let me just eat this poison. Let me drink this poison. Let me just, eat this disease and I can fight it off later. Nobody plans like that.
no.
Everybody thinks what they're doing is right.
Hmm.
You know?
Oh
So
man,
I can't come in and just say like what you're doing is wrong, thinking that
oh,
what I'm doing is right, right?
my health habits were so bad in my youth, and like the things I ate, and ramen noodles and McDonald's and Taco Bell, and like that was what I craved. My mom was kind of a health nut, and so she had like healthy cereals and
Mm.
stuff, and she made us all go vegetarian for a while, and we were all like, "Where's the meat?" And like
Uh,
you know, but it seeded into me, and what I realized about it doesn't have to be vegetarian, whatever. If you're just taking on the mentality of I'm going to take care of myself. And it's more about that than anything, I think,
exactly.
energetically, of like, I just want better. I want better for myself. I want better for, I want to be able to provide more
Hmm.
support to my community. I want to become larger, than, in
Exactly.
my self-imposed limitations. I don't want to be confined by these things, and it's I only seek to influence other people who seek to be influenced, who want to take this path, who are also excited by it,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that the energy really of the thing can be like an effortlessness. We're so practiced at efforting and struggle. It's another thing I really resonate with Adama's message. She's like, I quit struggle a long time ago. Like
It's a
struggle has,
choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
struggle has no inherent worth, and we think it does. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
No, it's just
character
a
being,
choice.
no, not really.
Yeah.
You know, uh, if there's something that you have to do, uh, if you're in the right place, in your heart, mind, and it's something of a nature of duty or responsibility, you're happy to do it. There's no struggle.
Exactly.
It's easy. You
Yeah. That's why purpose fuels us.
know.
Purpose is the real fuel, if anything, because like the reason why we are seeking everything, seeking this food or drugs or whatever, stimulation that we seek out there is just because we lack the purpose. You know, like it's some type of void. Like there's something that we want to feel, right? Like we want to feel some type of way. We want to have a um I don't know, like everybody wants to be the one, everybody wants to be making something
We
special, doing something special, like being this the
we
superior
all
one,
are the one. We all
huh?
are the one. We all are the one. We're just not all superior. We're all the center of the universe, and we're all
I mean,
divine
like, I really
glory.
believe that everyone is chosen. This depend on when you choose
Yeah.
yourself. Because like the chosen one is not the one that's chosen by everybody. It's the one that chose himself, right? So once you choose yourself, like you see the world and you view the world differently, right? So I'm just thinking this whole life, like even when we separate, Jesse, when we say like, okay, someone who's on this path, now we are creating a kind of separation, saying like somebody who's not on the path. We are all on this path called life,
Hmm.
right? Everybody's
Hmm.
conditioning and everybody's ways is kind of like making us see different things and be in a different way. But I mean, like, I find lightness in doing what I'm doing, right? And I don't necessarily think it's like the best thing for everybody. Whatever that's working for you, if it's making you happy and you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose, you should do that. You should do that,
Hmm.
But me as a person, I really think like this life is full of addictions.
And see,
So you choose.
there's some comments here. Just feel like you have to separate yourself then if your partner is not going along. I would say yes. I mean, my wife and I are honestly, we're talking about, because we don't really, I don't know, we're not sure where it's going to go. We feel that we know that we need to honor our own and each other's path, and that it's it's just, you know, there's a lot we have threaded together, our family, our kids, our business and stuff. Um, but right now we need to follow that guidance that comes from within, that is a little bit conflicted with us right now. And I think, it's very important just to be where your skills and your spirit and your truth is welcome, joyously, you know.
Mhm.
So, I have tons of love and respect for her, truly, but it is this thing of like, it's clear now. I see this, it's the same thing with food, right? Something, you maybe have experienced this, maybe you're juicing something for a while, and you get to a point where it may be a really great juice, and you love all the ingredients, you get to a point where you just can't, you're just like, ugh,
It's
you know?
done. Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
had we've been working, our kids are, working together, our kids together, our farm, and, so our relationship to ourselves and one another has been atrophied, and we have to root back into ourselves, we feel like, if we're going to be able to go more together. But in the meanwhile, we need to be in those places that nourish us, so that we can do that. And this just to the brother's point, it's like you very may well need to do that. And like I said at the beginning, I had to separate myself from most of my social connections just because they were all drinking and eating meat and everything. And at that time, particularly, I was not strong in my practice. It would have been kind of dangerous for me, psychically and physically, to move into that, because I was already dealing with disease symptoms, like allergies and stuff. So you
Yeah.
may have to make that call for yourself of like, I love this person, I love this situation, but I have to let it go, you know.
It's very healthy. When it comes to food as well, it's just the relationship that we have with the food that's the problem. It's not the substance. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
So letting go, I think it's the hardest thing, especially what we are used to, especially where we find comfort.
Hmm.
So, but I truly believe if you're not growing, it's like planting a seed in a concrete. That's how I felt in my previous relationship. I felt like I was a seed in a concrete, and I'm like I'm just on this concrete. Nothing is growing. Like I'm not growing spiritually, mentally. I was just going into this. I don't know, and I was
I
in
feel
it.
you. That's where I've been inadvertently, because of my attachments with my wife and my family, and I want it to be good, and
Yeah.
and it is. It's been overall very amazing. It's just clear that we have to take a different path now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really hard. It's like extremely, extremely hard, especially
Yeah.
when there's some good people in there. But when you're especially feeling that, like you're a tree in concrete inside a concrete building, there's no light, there's no water. It's like, how are you supposed to, and if you're, as you pointed out, if you're not growing, you're dying,
Yeah.
you know. And that's why I'm passionate. I feel in this nice infusion from the wisdom of that lady Adamo of like, yes, this is the path that I'm passionate about. I'm so stoked to see people transform. I want to help them do that. My own transformation was has been so like vitalizing, and to celebrate it more, and and to bring people in and to be in community, and play with the vibe of health and wholeness and strength and connection with the earth, and celebrating, and music and art and all those things, and uh, realize that as creators, we don't like the world we're in. We can just start making a new one,
We
you know?
can. We really can. We
Yeah.
really can. Yeah. No, growth isn't easy, it's painful.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing for me, last year and this year, I was committed to not just stay in the same place that I was the year before, just like, so I allow myself grow. So whatever that needs to go, needs to go. It really has to go. Yeah. And it's painful, but I know like once I let go, there's something, higher. And there's a reason why I'm doubting. There's a reason why I want to let go. There's a reason why I'm already having these thoughts, right? So that's a confirmation itself. It's just me holding on to it. And I have been in relationships where, I thought I could fix it, or I thought like, okay, this is gonna smooth out, or like, yeah,
Mhm.
if you're
Yeah.
different, you're different. And I really think, if you have, especially when it comes to partners, it's a choice. It's not a necessity. It's just a choice to have a partner, like to experience this experience with. And I feel like people are just making it hard for themselves by, finding a partner to complete themselves.
I,
Like, okay, you
I
have to
think
complete me.
that's
I
the
need to,
mistake.
I need to complete you. And that's the opposite. You need to come here complete, whole. And
Yes.
when two people come together whole, you can create something beyond this little illusion, But when you
Mhm.
come like halfway, and now you have to heal me, I have to heal you, and now I expect something from you, and expectations create all of this dilemma. Now none of us is gonna grow. We're just gonna be like two seats on the concrete, right?
Mhm.
So there's no benefit in that relationship except the attachment that we just have to it. And it's like, okay, I need to have another partner. I need to have some, significant other, and this and that. It's the comfort that we are attached to. But really, is it's not good to have a partner that is just putting you down and then you putting them down. You'd rather want to be alone than having
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that thing of you know, uh, if you come with those needs to begin with, then you basically stay stuck as long as you're with that person in a
Hmm.
pattern of believing that you are not complete by yourself,
Exactly.
you know, and really, it's done under the auspices of love, but it becomes imprisonment, self-imprisonment. And love is a freeing energy, a freeing emotion, a confining emotion. It's
Exactly. It should be freeing. It should be
yes.
freeing. Yeah. But I mean, like, if we live in a world that's like, based on, traumas,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is just trauma bonding. Like matching their trauma with someone else. Like, oh, you experienced that. Even if we don't even speak about it, like somehow, like our consciousness will just trauma
It,
match.
you
So
can
everybody's like trauma matching and calling it love. Yeah.
you can commiserate with that person because you know the suffering that they're going
Hmm.
through, and so there's that connection of like the suffering. But our connections, should be built on, maybe there, suffering is going to be there in life.
Hmm.
So, that that's okay. But if you make your relationship,
Based
focused
on.
on that versus based on freedom, based on, integrity, and with a lack of expectation, as much as possible. Like, this person isn't there to complete you. You're complete as you is, and they just bump it up a little bit just by their presence because you appreciate them so much.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
just acceptance. Like I said, it's a choice.
Yeah.
If I want to experience this lifetime with someone, it's a choice that you're making, right? But I think also, since all the traumas, we are subconsciously choosing a partner based on our traumas. And subconsciously also, I think we think like, okay, this, after I meet this person, all my traumas are gonna go away. I'm just gonna be happy and lovey-dovey. Everything is going to be fine, and this, and all of those expectations is what breaks the relationships, right? So
Because you're not
I mean,
accepting that person as they are. You're coming with all this expectation and
exactly,
projecting ahead of time,
exactly.
expecting the fulfillment of your wishes and
Hmm. Even if you
relationships.
don't think that way, even if you don't think that way, it's just settled within you.
Mhm.
You know, it literally is settled within ourselves until we do that, you know, like inner work with ourselves, that you know, where everything just pops up and you're like, oh my God, this is true. You know, I'm actually seeking this validation. I'm actually seeking this, you know, I want love. I want to be loved. And all of that is because of you lacking all of this. It's just lack.
Because you haven't accepted yourself and you haven't had that validation that offered by yourself to yourself. It's,
Exactly.
it's something I feel like we all need it from both ends, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like the psychology aspect of human beings needing to be in that community of, you know, that vibration of support, you know, to move past your trauma, to heal past trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
then from a healed place, then there's this other potential. But the healing and the trauma is an ongoing thing. It's never ending actually.
It's never
And,
ending. It's
and
never
so
ending.
it's more about becoming skillful at navigating the two ends of, you know, trauma and healing, um, and embracing it, but then, you know, trying not to transpose your individual, like, sort of uh, ego drama onto somebody else's, you know, someone that you love.
Mm.
Um, uh, Supposedly you love this person, but you're really, it's a form of control, you know,
Yeah,
because you're trying to get something out of the relationship, you know.
exactly.
and,
That's
and we could
it.
be, if we are, you know, healed to the point spiritually in our wholeness that we're our own complete being into ourselves, then we naturally are going to attract that more complete energy. But same ways
Exactly.
as coming with that needy energy. And
Exactly. Because you only radiate towards what you are from within.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So
And
healed person will, you know, attract the healed person, and it's just an energetic thing, you know, like you just, it just happens. It's not like something you think about. Oh, let me just go and find a partner in a conscious community. No, you will be in a conscious community because of you are conscious. You
mhm.
know, you know.
and and
So.
those blinders can be actually, like, I need it to be someone in the conscious community, you know.
Mhm.
What if
Mhm.
your twin flame is a redneck, you know? um, what are you going to do, you know?
So,
And you just cut them out because they're not in the conscious community, you know.
exactly, or in the category that you put it in, you know. So that's why it should be like, have no expectations. You know, have
Yes,
no
no
expectations. Just be in
expectations,
the
and no
flow.
judgment is definitely the way to peace, but it's also easy to know and hard to do.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things that are easy to say but hard to do as well. So yeah, hey
Hey,
Haruka.
Haruka Bird. Wandering in silence says, right, control. That's the why it doesn't feel right. It feels like I need to go there. But be patient and wait. Yes, you know, I love in decision making. For me, the way I operate is, if it's not a fuck yes, pardon my French, it's either a no or a wait. You
Hmm.
know, and if you don't feel a strong no, just wait. You know, and
Hmm.
you know, that's been very helpful to me to approach things that way, because I can develop anxiety about should I, shouldn't I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
The right thing will show up, you
The
know.
right thing would
It'll happen
really show
naturally.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
just
always
time.
ask, you know, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't have to do much, really, as long as you are just, being yourself. Uh, and as long as you are just being truthful with yourself, and you really don't have to do anything, like just working on yourself, the other match will match you. So just think about it, like if you are in a kind of like a depressive state, like a heartbroken, whatever people call it, if you're in that state, you don't want to stay in that state.
Well,
No.
people will fall in love with their pain just as much and attach to their pain just as much as their pleasure. You know,
Yeah.
I find,
But I mean, like, what would I want? Okay,
but
let me just
it's not the
match
skillful
my.
way. It's not the
Mhm.
skillful way. That's the way, of addiction, essentially. Um,
Yeah, it's like we are addicted to the suffering, so it's another
it,
way of getting suffering, kind
it's
of.
just familiar,
Mm.
so that feels less scary. You know,
Hmm.
and it's
Interesting.
interesting thing about our brain and nervous system is it's basically wired to keep you alive today. It's not really thinking about tomorrow, 10 years from now, nothing. Your nervous system, as
Mm.
long as you get through now and today, that's what it's geared for,
That's how
you know.
everything's
So
supposed to be. Life
yeah,
is just today. Get by today. Don't
yeah,
worry about tomorrow.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
to drop into that in a conscious way is different. And that's like, I feel like the Wu Wei that the Taoists talk about, where you're you're not forcing action, you're not forcing thought, you're just in the flow. You drop into your center. We were talking about last time. You connect this and this. They actually talk about you connect this, and this,
Hmm.
you know, and you just, if you're just practicing that, then you will be naturally in the flow to make the naturally most beneficial decisions for yourself in the
Connecting with yourself. That's all you said. Actually, just finding that connection. Some people have to do like this to connect themselves. Some people just have to sit
yeah.
still. But yeah,
We're
it's all about tapping in. Yeah,
tapping.
tap within. Hmm. Yeah, tapping.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
no,
and
like the universe that we see is really a projection from within. Like the relationship that we are in, it's just a reflection of our emotional state. The friends that we have is just a reflection of our inner, state, and our inner relationship, how we have, what kind of choices that we make in life. All of that is just reflection from within. So it's nothing that's outside of ourselves. So once we respect that and realize that, okay, nothing is actually outside of myself. My partner, however, he's doing his things, that's just a reflection of me. I accepted it.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I feel that with my partner. I accept her for who she is, and I genuinely admire and respect her. But it's just this thing of, for us right now, our healing is not uh, complementary. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
our connection is good, but our healing needs to go different directions. So
Yeah,
we're
I
just
mean
gonna honor
that's
that.
the way. If you love someone, you have to let them also, heal on their own. It's you
I
know.
do. I don't want her to feel confined by, because that's been sort of the way it was for her growing up in this community, in the valley in northern New Mexico. A lot of sort of the cultural thing was like basically the man was king,
Hmm.
and woman, if man said something, woman just did it,
Hmm.
and not the way I operate at all. But there's like, that's partly her upbringing, you
Okay.
know. And so as I
Hmm.
moved into raw food vegetarianism and stuff, of course I wanted to bring her, but it was also her presumption that it was like a mandate almost at some level, and not really. I mean, she's a rebel in of herself, and she would never. That's partly why I respect her and love her, because she was like not into it,
Hmm.
and I admire that she listened to her own inner guidance, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just that thing of like, I want to be with people who have the same value system I do, value
It
not eating animals.
definitely
And
makes it easy. It makes it definitely easier. Yeah, it makes it easier.
I think we've both been just so much struggle, with watching our kids suffer, and it just etc. And just understanding that we trauma bonded, that to take
Yeah.
care to nourish ourselves in the right ways to move beyond those negative bonds to create more positive bonds, and to
Yeah.
practice that, I think is a super skillful path for, all people moving forward in, relationship with your food and with your partners and with everything, to not, because people, trauma bond with their food and their food addictions,
Yeah.
and the way they self-soothe, through, or work, the whole workaholism, you know,
Mm-hmm. Making money.
aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. It is it's all rabbit holes at the end of the day.
But that's where
It's all
it's
rabbit
like
holes.
to just focus on like your spiritual, physical, psychic, personal growth, to be growing like is the best rabbit hole, to go down.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually looking today, my sister's window's right there. So when I'm doing dishes and stuff, I would just stare at the window. And sometimes my mind just goes to different places. And at one point, I was just thinking, okay, this show, my mind, I was just thinking this show, and I'm in life,
Yeah.
right? And I was thinking about it as it was a show, and that I need to accomplish certain things before the show ends, you know. And it was weird to me to really think of life as a show. Like I separated myself from life for a little while, and I'm like, okay, this thing is going on, but this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to achieve, and we're gonna achieve that, before it ends. So like there was a time I was immersed like inside life, and I was part of life, and I was life.
Yes. Yes.
Now I feel like life is something that's happening, you know? It's a show that's going on, and now I'm part of it. I'm in this show, and I know it's going to end because, everybody's, story ends somehow, right? But
Mhm.
before my end, since I am the writer, I want to accomplish this, And it's like, okay, why do I have this time limit? Is it the
That's the
time
other
that
thing.
I. Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing I like about Adama's message is like we don't necessarily have to die. We're choosing to die every day with our habits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're doing suicide already. You
Yeah,
know,
makes
but we
makes
don't
sense. We
have to
die.
choose that. That's a choice.
Yeah,
To make other
yeah.
choices. We don't necessarily have to die. We just have to graduate from this earth plane at a certain point. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
and that they literally say that like some of the ancient yogic adepts lived, or Egyptian adepts lives for tens of thousands of years, and the Egyptians talk about this body being a seed for a higher dimension, so I
Absolutely. That's
really
the only
believe
thing that
that
makes sense to me.
we're the
Yeah.
what we're doing here in life is trying to germinate the seed of our own heart, spirit, vibration by listening to it and not being distracted by everything going on out there, with our
Mhm.
five senses,
Mhm.
so that we can grow into this higher place of being, because all of the beingness is our experiential inner, being,
Mhm.
having,
Absolutely.
those experiences and connecting with that energy. So, just to set the bar to that, and like you can take care of your physical health and your financial health, and all that stuff is noble, well, but there's a certain point where it becomes a self-oriented, sort of egoism, and that there's a place where we can move beyond and realize that our spiritual well-being is the real goal. When we leave this life, we want to feel happy, that we lived a good life. It was a good one. We had a lot of fun. We created a lot. We met a lot of cool people. We went through
Yeah.
trials, but it was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and now I'm graduating to another dimension where this is even going to be cooler. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Someone said you are the observant. We are the directors of the show, and you're the observer of the show. being able to observe the student. It's true. Yeah. I really believe that I am the observer, you know. I am just observing everything. And like, as we all know, we write our story. Like, literally every day you get to wake up and you get to make your day, like make your moment. Each moment you're in charge of creating it. Either you want to create a miserable one, you know, or a happy one. It's all choices, you know, and the choices that we actually makes us, or
And you
makes our
don't have
reality.
and you don't have to choose the choice that makes you feel bad. You don't have to go to that job that drains your soul, your prana, your energy. You don't have
Hmm.
to, stay in those relationships that make you feel like a plant inside a concrete building. You don't have to stay in that, way of eating that is makes you feel stuck and overweight or whatever, you know, like
Yeah, this
you
is a show, your show.
you can
Yeah.
those thoughts that are come naturally and easily, that are just high vibe, and just and it's this thing of like, you I feel like to some degree you have to like go through all of the pain and the suffering and trauma bonding and etc., just to recognize it and break up the crust of it inside your mind and in your body. Just like juicing and fasting and everything leads to a more pranic body, there's the mental aspect of breaking up all that, stuckness,
Hmm.
and work at it hard with all of our will, all of our might. This is like what we're here to do in this life. We're not here to like entertain and watch movies and eat and like, what are you, a eater? Or are you a consumer? Do you just absorb or do you create? Um,
I mean,
and it's fine to absorb.
it's a whole game, you know, you can get lost in it, you know, and I really believe that we learn from our mistakes. Like, if I didn't go into those rabbit holes that I went in, I would never know, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Totally. No, it's all right. You know, I should maybe probably better go because my bladder's pushing on me, and
Okay.
my wife came in, she's gonna get some dinner and stuff. But always great to see you, my sister. Love you so
Right.
much. Thank you for
Right.
coming. I
You.
always appreciate you. Thank you everyone for showing up. Hope you all got something from this, and sending you the blessed prana and good vibes, family.
All right.
Wholeness.
Thank you so much, brother.
All
All right.
right.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.